December 29, 1986, California Highway Patrol officer named Craig Pyer dove his cruiser down Interstate 15 in San Diego, California. With him was an NBC News reporter filming a segment about highway travel safety that was set to air later that night. At around 4 a.m. the previous morning, a 20-year-old college student named Kara Knott had been found strangled to death in a creek right near the Mercy Road exit. So as Officer Pyer passed by the Mercy Road exit and continued down Interstate 15, as they filmed, he began talking about the basics of highway travel safety. Anything could happen. Being a female, you could be robbed. If you're a male, all the way to where you could be killed. As this particular segment was filmed, Officer Pyer was looking ahead, and he noticed there was a car pulled over on the shoulder of the highway with its hazards on. So he turned to the news crew and basically said, "Look, here's a chance for us to actually show what to do in case your car breaks down on the highway." Officer Pyer walked over to the passenger side door of this car and asked him to explain what happened to your car. The driver said he had run out of gas and then gotten stranded on the side of the road, and then he had left his car and walked to a gas station to get a gas can, and all the way back he put the gas into his car, but his car still wouldn't start. This driver is doing basically exactly what he shouldn't be doing, according to the safety tips Officer Pyer had given, and so on camera, he basically says to this guy, "Do you understand how dangerous it is to have left your car like that and walked alone on this highway?" And the driver just kind of looked at him and shrugged like, "Yeah, I guess so." After that, Officer Pyer and the news crew wrapped up filming. They told him what time to expect this segment to air on NBC that night. And when Officer Pyer's actual segment aired on TV, there were a few people, when they watched this clip, that noticed something very specific. And within an hour of this clip airing on TV, those few people were calling the police in droves to tell them, "We know what happened to Kara Knott." It would turn out all the clues the police needed to solve the Kara Knott murder case were right there in that 1.5-minute long video, because what happened to Kara had almost happened to over 24 other women in San Diego. The other 24 women who encountered the same person, the killer. They were terrorized and tortured and held hostage for a couple of hours, but eventually were let go. But Kara wasn't. During her encounter, at some point, the killer clubbed her over the head and then strangled her to death with a rope. Now, the killer, at first, had gotten away with this, until they were featured on that 1.5-minute long video. And some of those women who had survived their attack, they're watching the segment, and suddenly their attacker is on TV. And so put that all together, and they thought, boom, that's the person who killed Kara Knott. And sure enough, the police would follow up on these tips, and they would confirm that the man in the video was Kara's killer. And Kara's killer was none other than Officer Craig Pyer. Officer Pyer was found guilty of murder and sentenced to 25 years to life in prison.